Hello everyone, my name is Leanne Bailey and I'm excited to be in this class with you. Here's a picture of me at a recent teaching conference that I attended last fall called Get Your Teach On, and I just thought it would be appropriate for our class. My students know me as Mrs. Bailey, and here's a picture of me at the end of the school year celebration with my most recent class. I would have to say that they have gone down in history as one of my most favorite classes ever. I know you're not supposed to say that, but it's true. Um, I teach second grade currently at Highlands Elementary School in the Shawnee Mission School District, and Highlands is located um, technically in Mission, Kansas, but we serve students in Mission, Prairie Village, and Fairway. Um, Previously, I've taught fourth grade at Highlands as well, and I've also been a substitute teacher and a para. I'll give you a little bit of history about that. So I got my teaching certificate in 2010 from the University of St. Mary, and it was just really a crummy year to finish up teaching and be ready to become a teacher because most districts were on a hiring freeze. So I spent that entire year substituting in schools that I had worked in, and I also got the opportunity to be a long-term sub, so that really helped me kind of shape who I am as a teacher as well. And the para portion of that, I actually will kind of fit with the next slide. So as you can see, I live in Lenexa. I've been married for 8 years, and I have 2 children, which I'll tell you about more. But let's go back to whenever I said I was a paraprofessional for a little bit. My undergraduate degree is actually in journalism and French from K-State, not teaching. So I graduated from K-State, and I was an education reporter for a couple of newspapers here that were part of the World Company based out of Lawrence, Kansas. And I got to cover Shawnee Mission and DeSoto schools as well as several private schools. It was really fun, and I never realized how eye-opening it would be, and I just kind of had one of those aha moments, and I decided to leave my job because I could not take classes at night to become a teacher and also be an education reporter because school board meetings were on Monday nights, and so were my classes. So I became a paraprofessional for a year and a half while I was working through my teaching certificate, and that kind of helped me gain some more perspective from the other side of things. And so here's my husband Trevor. We got married right after I got my teaching certificate, and he's been supportive through it all. So and then we have 2 really beautiful kids. And I will show you a little picture about them. So here are my kids. Asher, he's 4, and Kate is 2. These pictures are pretty recent, so I caught them one day. They were being quiet, and I walked around the corner, and there they were, both sitting on the steps reading books. And be still, my teacher heart. I mean, if that's not what you dream of as a teacher mom, then I don't know what you're dreaming of. And then here we are at the farmer's market, and they had a superhero day, so I took my son and my daughter to meet the superheroes, and they got to meet Supergirl. So as you can guess, I don't have a lot of free time with 2 little ones and working full-time and getting my master's, but when I do get free time, my very, very favorite thing to do is to travel, and my husband and I recently returned from a trip to Mexico. We hadn't traveled since before having children, so this is a big deal to us. I mean, aside from going to like the Lake of the Ozarks. So this was a really, really fun getaway for us, and the kids stayed with grandma. And then I also really like reading for fun, and I just had to share this with some fellow teachers. If you are a Little House fan at all by Laura Ingalls Wilder, someone has taken the perspective of her mother, Caroline, and written as if from her perspective, and it's really actually a good read. I read almost all of this book on my short little trip, so I highly recommend it. if you are a Little House fan at all. And then here are some of the technology trends that I use at school. I could probably fill up this entire page more and cram a bunch more in, but we are a one-to-one school with technology, and we have iPads in the hands of every student. And I also have an iPad and I have a MacBook. And using that, we are a G Suite school as well. So we have Google Classrooms. Each student has a connection to a Gmail account through our school district. As a second grade teacher, I don't utilize as much of this as I probably could. I actually just recently finished up a class that has given me a little more confidence in using some of those aspects with second graders. And then what I do use a lot of, I use a lot of Seesaw, so my students can take photos of things and videos, and their parents can link up and see what we've done that day. It's also great for them posting reflections on things that they've learned. My school also has a really big technology presence. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook account, and all of the teachers are encouraged to have Twitter accounts as well. So something that I've really tried to start doing is using Twitter to connect with my parents, show what I'm doing in my classroom, and then also it's a great tool to learn from other educators. There's lots and lots of professional development that you can access via Twitter. So that has really been a big thing for me lately. And then finally, Teachers Pay Teachers is where all of my money goes. So that is a big part of how I find new materials at school. I no longer am going to the teacher store and buying those big thick books like I was in the very beginning of my teaching career 8 years ago. Now I just go online to Teachers Pay Teachers and give them all of my money. And then at home, we are big on technology here. So around Christmas time, we actually got an Amazon Show. So that's kind of nice because we are able to ask Alexa for things and she'll respond or she'll play our music. And we have an Amazon Prime account, so we are able to access our Prime music and videos and different things like that. We just got in the mail an Amazon Cube, which we don't even have hooked up yet. So hopefully I'll hook that up and maybe I'll give you some feedback on how that's working for us. But this is all kind of related to our I guess, family strategy on technology. So we pulled the plug a few years ago on cable, and it was really hard at first because I no longer get to DVR my shows, but most shows are available the next day. And so we have accounts with Hulu and Netflix. And then because we're Amazon Prime members, we're able to utilize that as well with our Amazon Fire TV. Another thing that we're big on doing at home, we take lots of photos of our kids and we like sharing those with our family members. So we'll put those things on Instagram and Facebook and connect to our families in that way. And finally, something that I really had to start doing since I'm working full-time, have 2 young kids, and I'm getting my master's, is I order my groceries online. Sometimes I'll use Hy-Vee, but sometimes I'll use Instacart, and that's kind of nice because they have an app and they will message you throughout the shopping process so you can switch things out if they don't have items that you need. But you can still stay home with your kiddos who are napping, or maybe you're even at the zoo, who knows. But those are the ways that I'm using the technology at home. I'm really excited to learn more about this class. Technology is kind of a passion of mine, so I'm hoping to get to know some of you better, and I think it'll be a fun 7 weeks. Thanks.